Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's good, everybody? That's right. We are here on the November 20th, 2022 edition of the Boxing Source Radio Show. Yep. And I'm here to go over a few things, that's going down in the boxing world. And that's right. James Bell, the host of the Boxing Source Radio Show. We have the Boxing Source on YouTube. We also have it through social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So you pretty much can catch us through those particular social media avenues, right? And to, I guess, go through what we have on slate. Of course, news came down that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be part of two fights that has been scheduled for 2023. And that has basically been the top story in the boxing world, that Tank Davis will be fighting Hector Luis Garcia. And then later in 2023, he will face Ryan Garcia. We had some news about Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia being matched up for a fight that was going to be planned for early 2023, but things didn't quite work out to where that could be what's happening. But the agreement in principle, so to speak, for Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia to fight later on in the year had been worked out. Mainly was mostly the networks kind of like trying to work a deal out. And so they were able to do that. And, with that being said, now Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia are going to be planning on fighting pretty much around May of 2023. Now, usually Tank Davis has fights scheduled on Memorial Day weekend during the year. We had one particular bout. Well, the bout this year was Mario Barrios that he had, and also for this year was Rolly Romero. So last year, Mario Barrios around Memorial Day weekend. This year, it was Rolly Romero. So next year, it looks like it might end up being Ryan Garcia for Memorial Day weekend of 2023. But first, he has a bout against Hector Luis Garcia, who is undefeated, 16-0, and is the super champion at the 130-pound division. That's right. In this year, he was able to score wins over Chris Colbert and Roger Gutierrez. When he fought Chris Colbert, he was kind of like a replacement opponent, as Roger Gutierrez at the time was not able to fight Chris Colbert. So, Hector Garcia stepped in. Chris Colbert came in there confident, overconfident, and was pretty much dusted up in that fight by Hector Luis Garcia. Unanimous decision win, clear unanimous decision win by Hector Garcia, followed up by Garcia going into the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, California against Roger Gutierrez for that WBA Super Featherweight Championship. And he was able to score a unanimous decision victory in that particular bout, where he looked like he had a slow start of sorts, but then he showed his overall skill level in that bout against Roger Gutierrez. So him being the WBA Super Featherweight Champion, now he is going to face Gervonta Tank Davis, who, was also a WBA Super Featherweight Champion a few years ago, before, moving up in weight, fighting for the lightweight championships, super lightweight championships. So he has been a multi-division champion Now going up against Hector Luis Garcia, we're going to see if that is going to be for the WBA lightweight title. There, as you know, his last bout against Rolly Romero was for the WBA lightweight title. So he could be at 135 or release the 135-pound limit there for that particular bout before he goes up against Ryan Garcia. Now, for Ryan Garcia, the plan is looks like some early reports are that Ryan Garcia could be fighting on January 14th, 2023 against Joseph Diaz Jr. or Jojo Diaz. So that may end up being the bout, which is something that I've kind of like been, kind of eyeing for Ryan Garcia for a while. I know that I think it was Ryan Garcia's bout against Emmanuel Tego, where Jojo Diaz was talking a lot of trash about Ryan Garcia, saying that he ain't all that, he's this, he's that. So I kind of like figured that he would eventually fight, or Jojo Diaz would eventually fight Ryan Garcia, but it didn't end up being the next bout. Ryan Garcia fought Javier Fortuna, got the stoppage victory over Javier Fortuna, and now he has been put in this position to eventually fight Tank Davis in 2023, but looks like he may end up fighting Joseph Diaz Jr. Before that fight against Tank Davis. So Tank Davis, has had his bouts, like I said, from 2019, Ricardo Nunez, Yuriorkis Gamboa, then pay-per-view events against Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz Gonzalez, and Rolando Romero. Now we'll see here what happens with this bout with Hector Luis Garcia. That is going to be an event of sorts at the Capital One Arena is planned for there in Washington, D.C. They say that early bird tickets will start to be on sale on Tuesday. So I know that a number of fans in the Washington, D.C. area and, up into Baltimore, Maryland will be eager to, go ahead and get some tickets for this particular bout or event here where Gervonta Davis faces Hector Luis Garcia, man. And I've heard, rumblings that we could have a fairly packed card for that event in Washington, D.C. There's been rumblings that maybe Jerron Boots Ennis could be included in this card. He might be part of the co-feature bout, given the amount of buzz that he has, given the amount of attention that he has. Gervonta Tank Davis would be the main event. And you can have Jerron Boots Ennis in there. He is the IBF #1 contender at the 147-pound division. They had, requested to be ordered as a mandatory challenger, but the IBF really hasn't said much about that yet. Daryl Peoples and company hadn't said much about that yet. So in the meantime, Jerron Boots Ennis, of course, had his win over Casio Clayton in Carson, California this year. Now he'll be set for an event where he could be facing maybe a Cody Crowley or somebody like that. They got to find somebody in the IBF rankings for him to face. Maybe Cody Crowley is the guy that would be the opponent. I know that Cody Crowley has said that he would like to face likes of a Jerron Boots Ennis or Ian Montessanionis or any one of those guys there that are higher in the welterweight rankings than he is. So, we're going to put that to the test. Most likely, as Cody Crowley seems like he is probably the best available opponent for Jerron Boots Ennis, as Rashidi Ellis has been reported to be turning down a fight with Boots Ennis, as according to Boots' father and trainer, Bozy Ennis, that he made that statement via YSM Sports Media, Jamel Parker, YSM Sports Media there. So, I've also, heard that Jaleel Major Hackett could be part of that card there on January 7th. He plans on being a part of that card on January 7th. He does have something scheduled for next month, as he would be part of that Frank Martin versus Michelle Rivera card there at the Cosmo in Las Vegas. I keep saying Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada, man. Las Vegas, Nevada, right? So, so you could also have him. I've talked with um, one other person in the boxing scene. You could potentially have Cobia Soldier Breedy, featherweight contender, as part of that card on January 7th as well. So you could have a number of fighters from the Washington, D.C. area, from D.C., Baltimore, Capitol Heights, Maryland, or, Silver Spring, whatever. We'll have a lot of fighters out there from the D.C. area that could be included in that card, headlined by Gervonta Davis and Hector Luis Garcia. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that particular event, which will lead into Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. They could likely be in May at the end of the month there. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Would like to see, all of those fighters in action. Like I said, there with Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia. And then on the other side, it could be Ryan Garcia versus Jojo Diaz. But, that, remains to be seen. Maybe we could get more information on that as the days go by. And you'll see, like, how this thing, situates itself. But having that thing there with Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia over in the D.C. area is well overdue that we have a big event in the Washington, D.C. area. A lot of times that we've had events, say, been at the MGM National Harbor. And for those that are not familiar with the MGM National Harbor, that's not a very big venue, at all. So, having something of this magnitude be at the DC area was very big. And, coming from what Tank's head trainer, Coach Calvin Ford, said, he said, hey, he, wants to have, an event back in, the home area for Tank Davis. And it's been some time since that's happened. Of course, Tank Davis had his fight against Ricardo Nunez at the Royal Farms Arena 2019. But, ever since then, he's been out in Atlanta twice. He's been at, the Barclays Center. He's been at the Staples Center. He's been in San Antonio. So he says, it's due for me to be back around my, stomping grounds and have a fight there in that area. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And to see who else is going to be included in this fight card. Kind of like I said, a couple of fighters that could be part of that card. But usually with the events that Tank Davis has, you get to see a fairly good, undercard there for those fights. So definitely looking forward to seeing what happens, next out there for, Tank Davis. I kind of think this is something where you're going to see more of Gervonta Tank Davis be featured as one of those higher profile fighters in the sport of boxing. Like his pay-per-view events have been, doing very well, and it kind of shows that his one of those guys that is a box office draw, so to speak. I know that there may be some people that may kind of be detractors of that, but the numbers speak for itself when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis and what he does not only on pay-per-view but in the box office as well. So I mean, we'll see like how that we'll see how that particular event shapes itself out once we get more news as far as like who's going to be included in that particular fight card. Either it's going to be announced within this week or maybe next week as far as like who else will be included in that card. And me, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I like to see like how things will kind of like turn out as far as like who's gonna end up being part of the card. The attendance it's gonna be a sellout. Usually that's what happens with Tank Davis's fights. They usually sell out. So I ain't really much worried about that. It's just about what Tank Davis does against Hector Luis Garcia. If those that have been on the YouTube circuit, if you've listened to the Rise podcast, there where they have Coach Calvin Ford, Coach Kenny, Coach Squeeze, and Coach Senior on there. They said multiple times that Tank is really on some other level as of right now. That he's kind of get to or pretty much at his peak when it comes to where he's at as a fighter. So we'll see how that goes there for Tank Davis, who is included on the Boxing Source pound for pound top 10. So you definitely have Tank Davis here on the Boxing Source pound for pound top 10. So we'll see him, like I said, in the ring against Hector Luis Garcia, who is the WBA champion at super featherweight. And it could likely be that this fight will be for that WBA world lightweight title, as it'll be yet another defense there for Tank Davis. It could possibly be similar to his fight against Leo Santa Cruz, which had the super featherweight and lightweight titles on the line in that particular bout. It could be the same case here. So we'll see how that turns itself out for those announcements. So I mean, I think that's some big news there when it comes to Gervonta, Tank Davis, and definitely looking forward to that. Now, next up on slate, man, we got what's coming up this week. This weekend, Regis Prograis, Prograis-Zepeda for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. It's the vacant championship there at Super Lightweight. Those two guys are the top two guys. And I think it's going to be a really good fight between the two. Prograis-Zepeda is out there. Of course, he's there with that record of 36 wins, 2 losses there, and coming up against Regis Prograis, who's there with the record of 27-1. Of course, Regis Prograis is a former world champion. Now, Zepeda had been a world title contender before against Jose Carlos Ramirez, lost by majority decision there in that particular bout. So I'm thinking that is a real close bout that will happen there between those two guys. And, it's going to kind of like shape up what happens, in the super lightweight division, kind of like how things work for like the WBC. If you're fighting for a vacant title and you win, it works out to where you would have to defend against 2 mandatory challengers, right? So whoever wins this Prograis-Zepeda fight is expected to defend against the next 2 rated guys in the WBC rankings. And currently, You have there at number 3 Jose Carlos Ramirez, who was supposed to be the guy that should have been in this fight for the vacant WBC title, but he had some, family obligations, so he couldn't really jump on that. But you have Jose Carlos Ramirez, and then next in line is Teofimo Lopez, who is scheduled to fight now Sandor Martin on December 10th at Madison Square Garden. So that is a WBC eliminator of sorts to kind of like determine who would be one of those guys in line to fight for that WBC super lightweight title. And I think, whoever comes off of that particular bout between Zepeda and Prograis, they will have their hands full a little bit. Now, the thing with Zepeda, right? Zepeda has already lost to Jose Carlos Ramirez back in 2019. So if he's able to get through this bout with Regis Prograis, he would be kind of like set up for another bout or rematch against Jose Carlos Ramirez. So that would be a pretty good challenge for him. And then after that, it's either the winner of Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin. So, I'm kind of like looking to see what happens there with that particular bout. I kind of like say that, hey, I'm leaning towards Prograis winning this bout against Jose Zepeda. But yeah, like it was said, man, this is definitely a 50-50 fight there. Now, Regis Prograis has a few things that he does in the ring very well, but there could be, a couple of flaws there within Regis, but I think that he should be prepared to go ahead and get this victory over Zepeda. And yet, it's going to be on Fight TV. This is promoted by Marv Nation Promotions through Marvin Rodriguez. And that's kind of like the featured bout on there. As far as like other fights that are on this thing, you'll have couple of sons of Fernando Vargas that will be part of this card. Fernando Vargas Jr. is on this card. Amado Vargas is on this card. You'll also have Bakir Jalalov, who is like a rising contender in the heavyweight division. That's going to be part of the card. Charles Carwell is part of this card there, 154-pound guy. So that's definitely one thing to look forward to. One of the added guests here coming in. Looks like something pretty delicious that's on his avatar. I'm not sure what quite dish that is, but making me kind of hungry. Terrell from Tampa checking in. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, JR? This is Terrell reporting live from the Beltway Battles.
I'll probably I'll be going through those particular bouts here in a bit. That was kind of like a fairly good event overall. So y'all be jumping in that here in a bit, and also I guess checking in from the HEL. The boxing academic is in the building. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Oh,
what
good,
do,
man.
Mike?
Oh,
what
good.
Do?
Hey, Terrell, so you mean to tell me that you don't want to talk about Jaime Munguia versus Correa?
What is there to talk about? He ain't fighting nobody. He ain't fought nobody last week. He ain't gonna fight nobody this week. He ain't gonna fight nobody next week. So what's there to talk about? No breaking news whatsoever. None. Absolutely. And he might as well change his name to Jaime Don't Want No Smoke Munguia. That's what he changed his name to. Don't want no smoke. Don't want no smoke.
Jaime Don't Want No Smoke Munguia. Oh, I like that, man. I like that. Oh, man. Yeah, he just doesn't look like he's ready for any of these top guys in middleweight, man.
I mean, what's funny is that 4 fights ago, he's calling out Triple G. Now Triple G is 40, 41, whatever he is now. And now he wants to fight Triple G in his next fight. That's like, I don't know what I don't know what this guy's doing. It's like, I mean, the thing about it is he like the backbone of Golden Boy now. I mean, who does Golden Boy have making money for them? I have no idea. Mungia and Virgil Ortiz. That's it. That's it.
Well, I
So
mean,
how did?
I just had found out recently that Virgil Ortiz's deal with Golden Boy is not that lucrative, man. I didn't know he wasn't, making that much money. So I don't know what these folks are kind of like doing there with these guys, but yeah, they gotta be able to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, like Munguia ain't really moving. I mean, remember he was supposed to be fighting Jamal Charlo. They had like something done, and then on the 11th hour they kind of like pulled out, and so that's why Jamal was slated to fight Marcy Selecki on Juneteenth weekend before his injury. So now, like I said, with Jaime Munguia, he's just fighting guys just to fight guys, I guess. So I don't know what to make of all that.
I mean, I give him credit because like he's supposed to fight John Ryder in this fight right here, but John Ryder pulled out because of injury or whatever happened. So he had to end up fighting this cab driver here. So I give him just a touch of credit, just a touch, because with John Ryder beating what's the name Danny Jacobs was that last year, whatever it was, stuff like that. So that put John Ryder's name on the roster for just a touch. But bottom line, they could have found someone better than this guy that Munguia just fought. Could have found someone better than that, but it is what it is. They just cruising right along. Don't want no smoke, like we said,
Yeah, cruising right along, and it's like was said a couple weeks back. It looks like Munguia hasn't really progressed as a fighter. So they're kind of like matching him up against guys that they know that he could beat before they kind of like serve him up, I guess, because they wanted to see about if he was going to improve as a fighter and develop as a more complete fighter at middleweight, and maybe he could have a step up in competition, but he's not been able to do that. And it's just, not looking well. He's just looking like he's going through the motions as far as like who he's fighting. So fighting somebody like Gonzalo Costa or Korea or whatever the guy's name is, right? Or fighting Jimmy Kelly and Demetrius Ballard, like that's not gonna work, So we got this thing here. First off, I want to add in another guest, checking back in, and then I have one more guest coming in, and I think this person has like a title here. So I'm gonna properly introduce the title here. White Man Paperwork is on here live with us on the Boxing Source radio show. Man, I keep oh my god, what is this avatar? Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh, what are we doing here? Shout out to Frank in here.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's happening? White Man Paperwork.
But yeah, think about go back. So, like I said, we look at him. He has now really progressed as a fighter in the last 3 or 4 years. Pretty much still the same. What's the name of the Spanish kid that beat Deborchenko about a year and a half ago? Kind of dark-skinned Spanish kid.
Wait, was Adonis? Didn't Adonis fight him and beat him? Because that's who's the guy that ended up being the the interim champion. He's now interim champion at middleweight.
What's his name?
Carlos Adames. He beat Gervonta last year.
So look how much he's improved in such a relatively short time. Yet Munguia, who's had much more exposure, much more opportunities, is still at the same place. What's up with that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What's up with that?
Who's Adamas' best win?
What did Derevianchenko?
Is that Adamas' best win?
Maybe. Wait.
He had a, that's what was that's good.
Because the way I remember, Adamas just knocked out leftovers anyway.
What in Montiel?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we're not.
I mean,
top flight.
That's what it was. It wasn't like
at,
Adamas. He got the intern, but I mean, did he fight a killer? Is that what we're saying?
Well, no. I'm
And
not
he has a
suggesting
loss
he's top,
too.
but he's. So would you not say he's not ready for the top level at 160?
No, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't say that. Just like I wouldn't say it about any of these guys that are working their way up. I mean, just last week, Janet Beck was a bum.
Well,
and they were saying when Adamas lost, when he had his loss, he was a bum. I mean, that's just how we operate. We have to be consistent.
Well, no, let's say I think Adamas is definitely ready for the top level at 160. I mean, he does.
Yeah, but his own company just screwed him. But his own company just screwed him.
Also.
Well, he's the interim. He petitioned to be the mandatory, and they told him no.
What are you talking about?
They wanted to give Charlo more time.
Hold on.
Who told them no?
The WBC.
No, they didn't. What they said is that they need to they need to get more background on what's going on with Jamal Charlo because Charlo.
So give him more time. Just what I said, right? So they just wanted to give him more time, just like I said.
The WBC wants more time to find.
That's just what I said. You said no to that. That's just what I said, but you said no to that.
No, you said that they told Adamas that he can't be the mandatory. That's not true.
So then what happened? Well, didn't you explain it?
I'm trying to explain it, but you keep saying that's what you said.
Okay, well, let's explain it in detail then.
Jamal Charlo is going through a lot of issues in his personal life, and the WBC is giving him time to figure out what he wants to do before they make a decision on the belt. That has nothing to do with PBC. That's what the WBC is doing for their long-time champion. Jamal Charlo has been a WBC champion for years. I think he should be afforded the opportunity to take care of some personal matters. And then they're going to decide whether or not they're going to name him champion emeritus, which means that he gets a title shot upon his return to the sport. But Jamal Charlo is probably going to be unavailable for the next few months.
So you mean he gets a franchise belt? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what that is. What's going to happen is he's not going to have the belt at all. They're going to promote Adamas to the full champion. And then when Charlo decides to come back, he gets a title shot.
And when's the timeline for that?
That's what they're trying to establish.
Okay, so basically they just gave him more time.
But in the meantime, Carlos Adames has went on his Twitter account and said, in reference to Janet Beck, who one person feels is the top middleweight out right now, he says, "Hey, I'm a champion. Why aren't you, Janet Beck, interested in fighting me?" So, hey, maybe he could try to get something worked out for Carlos Adames to fight Janet Beck and then Hanuli. Who knows? Because then Hanuli, coming off of his win, is saying that he's looking for an opponent. So, well, Carlos Adames is raising his hand saying, "Hey, I'm an opponent. Why not fight me?"
The WBO ordered him an opponent, which is crazy to me. I don't know how the fuck Jaime Munguia is the WBO mandatory, but they put the order out today that they have 15 days to negotiate.
Yeah, that's kind of a real question mark right there.
Yeah, because if Janet Beck was the mandatory, then who did Jaime Munguia fight to become the mandatory right after Janet Beck gets the full belt? I don't get it.
Well, that also goes into what happened with Jaime Munguia when he moved up as a champion at 154. Like he was there at number one, right? And then he didn't really, I guess he didn't really fight like someone in order to be mandatory or have a final eliminator. And then Hanuli didn't have anything where he had a final eliminator. So in a sense, he didn't up to that point. But what ended up happening was when you had the thing with Demetrius Andrade as the champion and him deciding to move up to face Zach Parker at the time, the WBO tried to put up a interim title for Janabek and Jaime Munguia, but that fell through. So that's how Janabek ended up fighting who he fought to kind of like be the interim champ. So it was that whole thing with the WBO and the middleweight thing is it's like a whole mess there. So that kind of they gotta be able to do something in order to sort that out. But Zanabek, him fighting Danny Dignam, that was because the whole thing with him and Demetrius Andrade fell through, and then the WBO tried to see about scheduling the purse bid with Zanabek and Jaime Munguia, and that fell through. So that's how Zanabek ended up fighting Danny Dignam for the interim belt there back in May of this year. So that's kind of like how that worked out. But the thing with Maul Charlo, we got to see how that's going to sort itself out for that, man, and then we'll see how that goes. But White Man Paperwork, you checking in? You like got something in store for us? I was talking about Tank Davis over in DC, man. You gonna make it over to DC for Tank Davis?
That's the plan. That's the plan. It depends on if this chick that I'm talking to, if she's going home for winter break or if she stays in DC for winter break. If she stays in DC, I'm gonna be up there. But if she go home, I'm gonna be not there.
TMI White Man Paperwork.
How you doing, Boxing Academic? Do you have anything smart for us today?
No, man, I hadn't been on in a few weeks, so I just feel kind of out of the loop.
Yeah,
I
I've
kind
been
of.
in a few weeks too. It's good to hear
Oh,
from
okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel better then. Yeah, I was expecting a different voice from the title, but yes, never mind.
Well, see, you have not been on Twitter that much. If you would have been on Twitter, then you would have recognized that White Man Paperwork could only be one person. And we ain't talking about Dr. Umar.
Can somebody tell me what it means? Maybe after the show, then, because I'm.
I will.
All right.
I will.
Just don't ever ask the boxing source for White Man Paperwork. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a fact.
I'll explain it real quick. Okay. A lot of times, our brothers, like the boxing source, like YSM, they have great sources, and they put out boxing news. But for some reason, a lot of people, including a lot of black people, they want to wait till they hear it from a white man before they believe it. So they are waiting for White Man Paperwork before they can believe something that the brother told them months ago.
And that is why they use the clip from Mr. Dr. Umar Abdullah Johnson when he says, "Why do you need white man paperwork?"
Exactly.
Lord have mercy. Let me say it again. Why do you need white man paperwork? And so that's where that comes from. Okay. Now there are a couple of people that we kind of cosign that are, considered white, like Jake Donovan. But, outside of that,
That's where it sucks.
What about Chris Mannix?
Oh, God.
Hell no. Oh, my God. Hell no.
That's my number one source. Totally
That
reliable.
guy's a fucking clown, by the way.
Totally reliable, unbiased, right?
How this guy, that really pisses me off. Not to defend Jaime Munguia, because I know a lot of y'all don't like his resume, but how the fuck Chris Mannix was talking shit about Jaime Munguia's resume when he works for the Zone, and the Zone is the one that stopped the Charlo fight from happening?
I mean, he could talk that trash, but he didn't say nothing about the Zone stopping that fight from happening, did he? Nope.
Like, come on, man.
I actually listen to his podcast just to hear his bullshit. Just to hear the bullshit he be talking about. That's why I listen to it. Like, no, this don't make no damn sense. No damn.
Sergio Mora was on Twitter yesterday saying that I hope the middleweights are forced to fight Jaime Munguia now. Dude, they've been trying to fight him. What are you talking about?
Like, come on, man. How you been in the middleweight division for all these years and you haven't even stated that you're fighting one of these guys that have held the belt, and yet you're supposed to be one of the top guys they're ranked in those rankings.
I think we're gonna get Charlo versus Munguia next.
Somehow he will figure out a way to get out of it, or not take the title shot. Somehow you get out of it. That's what he does.
Now,
Munguia's best fight is my boy who face always get bloody.
Saddam Ali.
Gabe Rosado.
Rosado.
Gabe Rosado.
Question mark. Ain't that his best fight?
That might be.
I'll say it's Saddam Ali.
Yeah, definitely. That was his best. That's what put him on the map. That's what put him on the map.
What put him on the map. But this is the same Saddam Ali that got
knocked out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying his
Colo ass though.
I'm saying not his best fight as in like his best performance, his best resume, like his highest ranked fighter.
He beat the guy that beat Cotto.
Oh.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah, recently it was a fight of the year candidate. It was a good fight.
What? Which one? What are you talking about?
Rosado Munguia, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not mad if he fights Triple G. I mean, that's a good fight. Cinco de Mayo, Triple G. That's going to do well.
On what platform?
It'll be the Zone. That's
The
what they said.
Remember
not with the Zone anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not.
Nope.
No.
But you know what though?
On what platform and how much? Who's gonna pay for that?
But you know what though? This would be Munguia's best time to fight Triple G because he's definitely on his way. Like he's on the decline. I mean, this would be Munguia's best time.
Well, that's the biggest money fight in the division.
Hold on. What belt will he fight Triple G for?
He owes 2 belts.
He can't. He has to fight either
Falcao
or Erislandy Lara.
He literally can't fight anyone else. He went to the IBF and begged them to call the mandatory so he could fight Falcao. So the IBF and the WBA agreed to let the IBF mandatory go first. If he does not fight the IBF mandatory, then he has to fight Erislandy Lara, or he will be stripped of the belt. So like I said, what belt is he going to fight Munguia for?
Yeah, money has a funny way of doing things, though.
Yo, what's good with the Rise podcast? Shout out to Coach Squeeze, Coach Senior, Coach Calvin, Coach
I mean, Spence don't have to defend for 3 years. Why can't Triple G?
In the Rise podcast, checking out the boxing source here. Of course, I've been part of their podcast the previous week. So good for them to show some love here on the live podcast there. So shout out to them, man. And like I said earlier, man, we're looking forward to seeing what's going down over at the Capital One Arena as Gervonta take David Trace's Hector Luis Garcia. So definitely looking forward to all that. And if y'all have it,
Can I ask you a question, Boxing Source?
go ahead.
Why the fuck would Tank take this fight if it's supposed to be a tune-up?
Oh, you mean where people claim that this is a tune-up against a world champion in Hector Luis Garcia?
Yeah, this is a very difficult fight for Tank. First of all, this dude is big. This dude is like 5'9". He's thick. He's obviously powerful. Like, why would Tank take this fight when he's supposed to be getting ready for Ryan Garcia?
Well, like I said, he wants to have a fight over in the Washington D.C. area, and like I said, it's mainly the detractors, those who are not really much fans of Gervonta Tank Davis, that are saying that this particular fight with Hector Luis Garcia is a tune-up. And you know what? That reminds me. Yeah, and that reminds me, I have to hit up somebody to see if he could be coming on the show, because one particular frequent guest of the Boxing Source radio show had went on social media and said that he was not in approval of the fight between Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia. So I'm going to see if I could get him to come on the show. So I'm sending out that invite link. But
yeah, I don't like this fight for Tank, man. I think this fight is a very tough fight, and you're expecting Tank to fight this guy in January and have the short turnaround. This guy is gonna come to fight. This is not a guarantee.
Well, what do you think about the fact that move it up in weight to fight Tank? What about that?
I don't think moving up in weight matters when you have a huge frame like Hector Luis Garcia. The dude is huge.
Like I said, he's there 5'9", 67-inch reach, man, 67-0. And I said he's had the two of the more impressive victories out there in 2022 with his wins over Chris Colbert and Roger Gutierrez.
Oh, that's him. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this.
And Tank is accustomed to being the smaller man inside the ring, with the exception when he fought what's the Mexican kid name? Whatever back. Cruz.
Well, the puppy, as Shakur Stevenson calls him.
Yep. So Tank is he's accustomed to being the smaller guy in the ring, but his power more than makes up for it in that regard. So.
Oh wait, hold on, y'all. Checking in. Showing us some love. Big ups to the Rise podcast in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, Boxing? So my question is, who said it's a tune-up fight?
That's what the boxing media is saying, like Mike Carpenter.
No. Did you not hear what his coach Calvin said? Coach Calvin asked the same thing. He said, who said it's a tune-up?
Well, we know as boxing fans it's not a tune-up. I just think Tank is bugging out for taking this fight so close to the Ryan Garcia fight.
But I'm not understanding. Like, first the media blast him for not taking difficult fights. Now he takes a difficult fight, and everybody says it's difficult.
Yeah, but who gives a damn about the boxing media? We know what that is.
Okay, so what do you want him to do? You want him to fight first? Do you want him to fight tough fights or not?
I want him to make it to the Ryan Garcia fight. That's the fight I want.
Senior, this person under the moniker White Man Paperwork wants to see events in. Since Tank versus Ryan is an event, he wants by all means necessary to protect that event and make sure that it happens. So he's not completely in favor of having Tank Davis fighting Hector Luis Garcia on January 7th.
I see, but you know what I mean. Y'all want to fight.
So you don't think that this fight might be a little bit too tough to have with such a short turnaround?
What is too tough?
This dude Garcia could crack.
Let me ask you a question. You got faith in your fighter? Who you like?
Say that again?
Who you like? Who you like in a matchup? Tank or Hector?
Well, I think Tank is gonna win the fight, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna leave the fight unscathed. It's not like this dude's a pushover. This dude is a very tough fighter, and he's gonna come to fight, and he's not gonna stop coming to fight.
All boxers, tough fighters.
Well, I don't know about that now. Come on, like I respect the art, I respect the science, but not all of them are built the same.
I just don't understand. Most guys say Tank don't fight nobody. He don't fight the tough fight. It's a tough fight. We all know it's a tough fight. He
Yeah,
signed
but
up for
nobody
it.
on here don't think Tank don't fight nobody. That narrative, that's the narrative you gotta push with the boxing media. We know Tank fight people. My thing is, I think this is a very dangerous fight to take when we're trying to get the Ryan fight over the finish line. You know, like if he's
Tank
planning
on
on
a
fighting
rampage.
Ryan in April or May, that's a short turnaround to fight somebody so tough in January.
Tank on a rampage. Trying to lay them all down.
He's out there to try to get everybody, and he's gonna have a busy 2023, and he's putting names on the list and crossing them all. So he start with Hector Garcia, and then he's gonna continue with Ryan Garcia.
Now, why did it decide Hector Garcia versus Gary Russell Jr.?
Say it again.
Why did they opt for Hector Luis Garcia as opposed to a Gary Russell Jr., which I think is like a grudge match?
Gary Russell Jr. is still not back from his shoulder surgery.
Well, he's not completely back, but he did say recently that he says that he's going to try to get back in the ring soon. But I just don't think it would have been against Tank Davis, though. I just don't. Yeah, I didn't see that happening. Nah. Nope. So,
Well, now I'm wondering who Ryan's going to fight, because Ryan said he's coming back in January, too.
January 14th. Could be against JoJo Diaz January 14th.
Oh, God. Nah. Come on. JoJo?
Yeah, JoJo. You know how many times I've pretty much suggested that JoJo Diaz would be an opponent for Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, I'm good on JoJo. I was hoping after Zepeda beat him that we don't see him no more.
That wasn't gonna happen. But shout out for Coach C to be jumping in on here to join the Boxing Source. For those that don't know, he is like the CEO of Rise Podcast. That's on YouTube. There with Coach Squeeze, of course, Coach Calvin Ford and Coach Kenny be joining in there for their conversation. So big ups to them for having a consistent podcast and giving us what's going down over at Upton Gym in Baltimore out there. So shout out to them for that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I mean, hey, Hector Garcia, like I said, man, he's a very skilled fighter out there for the DR. Southpaw, so it'd be Southpaw versus Southpaw in this bout, So, man, hey, I'm looking forward to it,
They got to watch their feet. They got to make sure they don't have no head clashes. I'm not liking this, man. This is come on, man. Listen, I'm telling you right now. They better make sure that we get to the Ryan fight. Ryan tired too, man. Don't fight nobody too tough.
Man, come on, man. It's almost like you're trying to have Tank Davis in some bubble wrap until
Yes,
Ryan Garcia.
I would rather see Tank fight Tone, the superstar, that YouTuber that be talking shit about him. I'd rather see Tank fight him.
Hey, you hear this singing?
I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Hey,
Tank said he gonna run into his ass.
Quick question for everybody: who is Tank's best win to date, and would this guy be Tank's best win?
No, he won't be Tank's best win. I think Tank's best win is a tie between Leo Santa Cruz and Mario Barrios.
You don't get no credit for Pedraza?
He got credit, but I don't think Pedraza is his best friend. He's had better wins than Pedraza. Leo Santa Cruz is a legend. Like, come on, man. That dude's probably going to the Hall of Fame.
Don't
That's a
tell
much
everybody
better
that.
than the Pedraza.
Definitely.
Don't tell everybody that.
But that was at 130 though, right?
So,
Pedraza?
No, Santa Cruz. Because didn't Tank go back down to fight Santa Cruz
yeah,
at
that was
130?
at 130.
Yeah, that was 130. It was for, both 130 and 135 belts, but it was at the weight limit at 130.
And for me, I like the Barrios win because Barrios is a big motherfucker. I'll tell you, listen, I don't know what's wrong with Tank. I think he's a little sick in the head.
Nah, don't say that, man. See, like I said, man, you try to have that man in bubble wrap.
Listen, I just want the big event. Listen, all the baddies is coming to Tank versus Ryan. Okay, I need to be there. And that's the fight I need.
Wait, so but you don't think the baddies will come for this particular fight in DC?
Hell no, man. Man, listen,
You lost in your mind. You don't know what's going on then if you think
let me
that.
tell you something. This fight in DC, all I'm gonna tell y'all is get in and get out. Okay?
Oh, come on,
As
man.
soon as
Don't
that
do
fight
that.
is over,
Don't do that. Don't do
make
that.
sure you get out. And
Don't
if you
do
get a police
that.
escort, get a police escort. Get
Don't
out
do
of there.
that.
Where you from, white man paperwork? Where you from?
I'm from New York, baby.
Man,
You
he
scared of
he
DC?
barely get out of the Bronx, yo.
Listen, if I'm gonna go
Are you
to
scared of DC?
if I'm gonna go to a third world country like DC,
Oh,
I'm gonna
hell no. See, no.
I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
need to
hold
make
on,
sure
hold
that
on.
I get out safely.
Hold up, no, man. We ain't gonna have this DC slander, man. We ain't gonna have this DC and DMV slander on the Boxing Swords radio show like that. Come on, man. We ain't doing that. Come on, white man paperwork.
I see the wire.
How many years ago was that?
I see the wire. These motherfuckers be wilding over there. That's why I'm not trying to get no regular ticket to the fight. I'm trying to get a suite so I do not have to sit amongst that crowd. So hopefully the arena has a suite.
You hear this, senior? That he's scared of our folk, man.
I'm coming up to his suite to get a plate too.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah,
Man,
like I said, man.
if you can move in New York, you can move in DC, man. I ain't trying to hear that.
You hear that? White man paperwork.
Now,
You can
let
move around
me
the
ask y'all a
Bronx.
question. What's the Dominican population in DC? Because I've been wondering, because PBC has a lot of Dominicans. Like, are they going to be supporting these shows?
I'm not sure because they don't really have that much of a track record of attending a lot of these fights that include Dominicans, do they?
No, they don't. That's the problem, man. And it's so many Dominicans on the East
DC
Coast.
diverse too. DC diverse like New York too.
Oh, word?
Yeah, DC like a melting pot too.
Oh yeah, man. You know that you'll find some some Dominicans, you'll find some Cubans, you'll find some Puerto Ricans. That's more.
You gotta
of your
get out
flavor.
the house more. You gotta get out the house more, white man paperwork. Can't keep locking yourself in with that bubble wrap on the walls. You gotta get out. See the world. Look at the sun sometime.
This man wouldn't leave the Bronx outside of going to see Deontay Wilder's statue being unveiled. That's the only time he's left the Bronx.
Hey, man, you got to support your favorite fighters, man.
Make sure you in DC see Tank Hacker.
Yeah, man. Listen, every Tank fight is a big show. Now I'm wondering who's gonna be lead promoter, because I don't think it's obviously gonna be Mayweather Promotions. I think it's probably gonna be GTD and TGB running the show.
Yeah, GTD type thing. And Tom probably be part of it too. So most likely.
I'll be honest with you, I'm sad about that.
Why?
I love the Tank Mayweather connection, man.
But like I said, man, I mean, it's time for Tank to spread his wings, man. He's ready.
You want your kick, you want either two, you want the side chick, the wife, the mistress, the baby mother, you want everything, white man paperwork. You don't want to bargain with nothing.
Yeah, listen, man. I like what I like. What can I say?
So yeah, man, that's
you getting tough fights. You don't want the tough fight. You getting fights that wasn't promoted with certain people. Now, come on, white man paperwork.
Well, I'm just glad Tank is coming back soon because the boxing calendar needs this. So I'm just glad he's coming back.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Hey, you got to be ready, man. To come Tuesday, when that sale comes out Tuesday, hey, you got to get in. You if you want to get in on that suite, you better get in on that suite. Otherwise, you're gonna be ending up in them nosebleeds, and you never could be in those nosebleeds, man.
Goddamn well, I ain't doing no nosebleeds.
You big dude, you're not doing those nosebleeds.
Facts.
Terrell, wait, what you doing? You chopping up something, man?
Oh no, man, I'm good, man.
It's like, man, I thought you almost like you were probably prepare another dish, man. Like, what's going on with it? You know what I'm saying?
That's good, man.
But yeah, like I said, man, that's gonna be a big event. Looking to see if Boost is gonna be included in that event for the co-feature bout. Talk with Jaleel Hackett. He says that he's slated to be part of that card over in DC too.
Hopefully the non-televised portion.
Oh yeah. There'll be the non-televised portion. It won't be like how that Mayweather pay-per-view thing was. So yeah, it'll be
he can't go on the televised portion.
Hell no. Yeah, listen.
God dang.
I'm
Jaleel Hackett is a hell of a fighter.
He is listen, I'm sure he will be, but he is not a star yet. I like to see my stars when they're ready for prime time. I don't like seeing these prospects up and coming. I don't like that.
Oh, so you don't like to see Tiger Johnson on ESPN?
Hell no. Come on, man. Yo, these motherfuckers be having these dudes fighting when they 1-0. I don't want to see that. Let me know when they ready.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I get some word from Kobe Reedy's camp that he'll be part of that card too. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much most of what's going down.
If he's always on TV, you gotta let that man work that shit out off TV sometimes. Look what happened to fucking Vito Melnecki.
Right. Yeah. Yep. He got caught. Yeah, man. Hold up, boxing academic, man. What happened, man? It looked like you were trying to get at white man paperwork, but I guess you can't, huh?
I was trying to get at him. What you mean by that?
No, you trying to say that you were trying to say something to Matt?
Oh no, I wasn't trying to say nothing. I mean, we had said what I said, what I wanted to say.
All right, gotcha.
Y'all explain his title too. So no. No, I was gonna be a little bit more sensational and asking him why his name was that. But I chose the best way to ask him that.
Why is his name that?
Tell us, Matt, why is your name that?
The reason why my name is White Man Paperwork is because I'm tired of these people after people like JR, the Boxing Source, my man YSM, after they report the news, why we always gotta wait for a white man to confirm it before we believe it? I don't like that.
And like you said, it'd be our own people too.
It'd be your own people.
Hey,
for white man paperwork in order to confirm something you already said.
Yeah,
it's like they said the white man's ice is colder, huh?
Exactly.
Media, whose deputy name has been out there.
White man paperwork next week. I gotta jump off real quick. I got a call.
All right, for sure. See you, man. Thanks for jumping on, man.
All right.
For sure. That's that's Coach Senior Cobbs there over at the Rise Podcast. Big ups to him. And like I say, man, you got the Rise Podcast on YouTube, man.
I was just watching that the other day. I saw you on there.
Yeah, I was on there a couple times last week. Particularly when they had one conversation with Mr. Blue Blood. So
JR.
Yeah.
Are we speaking to you or are we speaking to Riddick Bowe? Which one is it?
Oh man. Well, oh no, you might be speaking to him or speaking to Bowe.
Favorite my boy, you know what I'm saying? and on top of that, you scaring cats when you walk into a room. What's up with that?
Oh man, no, that's a story of legend, man. That's a story of legend. With me going up to Upton one time. They like I said, they described that story like a bigger than life, man. But that's something else, man. But yeah, like I said, man, just looking forward to that particular event going down January 7th over at Capital One Arena, man. So big ups to that. Shout out to X once again. He said, salute the boxing source, man. Salute the boxing source. Yep. Big ups to you, X, for giving us the props there. And looks like had a late entry coming in. Steph is in the building in the live chat. Shout out to Steph out there, man. But yeah, that's mostly what's been going down. On the boxing scene. I know that, I was over in the local area doing the Beltway Battles round 3. I know that Dusty Hernandez Harrison was not able to be part of that, card. He was not pretty much scratched off the card on Thursday. So ended up being the main event. Greg Outlaw Jr. versus Wilfredo Buelvas, and Greg Outlaw Jr. out of Glenarden, Maryland, Bowie State University graduate, was able to score a first round knockout victory there in that particular bout. So you had that, and winners as like Suleiman Sagawa, Mac Allison the fourth, Dominic Crowder, who is trained by White Man Paperwork's favorite trainer. Oh man, hey, I'm sorry, but when he was out there, I was like, nah, I had to get him. I said, yo, check it out. It's his favorite trainer. Oh man, that was great. But Dominic Crowder is a very talented young man that they're out of Baltimore, Maryland, and they say that that the weight limit there for him was 120 pounds. He out there looking like Tommy Hearns, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, that dude ain't no 120. Like, I don't know where they had that at. Also, Malik Titus got wins. Ian Coakley, Tyrell Boyd, Deshaun Chase, and Muhammad Zawadi scored wins on that particular fight card yesterday at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C. And their next version of Beltway Battles is planned for January of 2023, most likely the 21st or the 28th. So definitely looking forward to that next thing there. Promoted by Thomas Cornflake Lamana there in Rising Star Promotions. So
let's go Cornflake.
Yeah, so that's the thing there, what they got going on. So like I said, Beltway Battles Round 4 is scheduled for January of 2023, and that's that there. So went through all of that.
Jared Hurd.
Huh?
When is he fighting Jared Hurd?
Oh, Cornflake?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I have to find out.
Yeah, I heard that fight is done.
Oh, word. Oh, that. Ooh. Oh.
Jared Hurd?
Yeah, Jared Hurd versus Thomas Lamana.
Well, I know Hurd briefly got married or whatever, but I mean, when's the last time he even fought? How long ago?
Man, that was Oh, I forgot which weight class he was in for that fight that he
But
had.
I think his last fight was the Mayweather undercard where he was slipping and sliding.
A little bit of sliding in the rain.
Yeah, unprofessional ass, janky ass shit.
Oh yeah, against Luis Arias. Yeah, well, yo. Yeah, that was in Miami. Yeah, that was his last fight. You know, ended up being a split decision there in favor of Luis Arias. So, but yeah, we may see. I guess Jared Hurd back in the ring against Cornflakes. So we'll see how that materializes. But I'm thinking that we're gonna get a number of news things that'll drop down on us over the course of the week. I've been busy of sorts, so I hadn't caught the latest edition of the Jake and Lefty show from yesterday. So I know that Jake probably dropped a few gems on there that I had missed live. So probably catch up on that here later on down the line. Oh yeah, had some Terrell.
No, that was just you just thinking about Jeff Hurd. Jeff Hurd, that is. It's so funny how he, for a good 3 to 4 year stretch, he was a prominent figure at 154. A bad loss, and the guy virtually disappeared, right? And that's why I said, that's why I was wondering, say, when's he fighting? Because it's like he disappeared. You know, is he damaged goods or just got other injuries outside the ring? But he's still young, because he was what 27, 28, 29, no older than that. But it's like the guy disappeared though.
Yeah, but that's boxing for you. That's why you got to strike when you can, because this shit move on quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the blows to the head guard is unforgiving. So
Yeah, and I mean, you had him, and he lost to J. Rock Williams, and J. Rock Williams ended up losing to Jason Rosario. And, I gotta see what's up with J. Rock. Like J. Rock is supposed to be, he was back in the ring too recently, but his what was it? He was part of that undercard joint in the Armory a couple weeks back. So. Yeah, he's got to be able to build himself back up, man. After having the loss to Jason Rosario and to Vladimir Hernandez, so he's got to get himself back in the gear too. So it's something where you could be in the top at one point, and all of a sudden after one loss, it could almost come crashing down on you. So there's that. But with that being said, that kind of like wraps up what I got here for this particular episode of the Boxing Source Radio Show. Thanks for everybody that joined in live for this particular episode. We can get right back at it next week, scheduled for November 27th, as we talk about what happens with Regis Prograis and Prograis-Zepeda and among other things that happen within the boxing world. But like I said at the end of every show, folks, support a boxer is to hit and not get hit, not to stand and trade. On that note, folks, I'm out. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bomb squad, baby.